Today is Gabriel Johnson's third birthday, and we've been showing you pictures of the young boy throughout the trial, obviously. He disappeared December 27th, 2009. There's his picture. His mother, Elizabeth Johnson, first said she killed him and put him in a dumpster. She later changed her story, saying she gave the boy to a couple in San Antonio, Texas. Now, in February 2010, a 16-day search was completed in a local landfill. There was no evidence of homicide found. Several reported sightings have been investigated. None have produced any leads, but the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has been following this case since Gabriel disappeared. And I want to show you what they have here, the software that helps show what Gabriel may look like today. Take a good look at your screen there, won't you please? Because this is called an age progression photo, and we're going to talk about how this works. Because it's still an active investigation, police are in constant contact with the National Center, and if you have any information that could help find Gabriel Johnson, again, please take a good look at that little boy on your screen there. Call 1-800-THE-LOST. That's 1-800-843-5678. Or you can go to missingkids.com. His story and his photos are all there as well. But I want to bring in Ernie Allen, who's president and CEO of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, has dedicated so much time and effort to helping find so many of the kids that we talk about. Ernie, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Christy.
Can you tell us first and foremost, are you still getting, at this point, any leads on Gabriel?
Christy, we're getting some. They have slowed, and that's why we think your segment here is so important, because we believe that Gabriel's still out there. Even though his mother has told varying stories about whether she killed him or she gave him to someone to adopt, the reality is these cases aren't closed until we find the child or until we know with certainty what happened to him. So somebody knows where this little boy is. Somebody knows what's happened to him.
Mm-hmm. We talk about these age progression photos, and we know that this technique works. Tell me about a case that has really stayed with you, where an age progression photo was found years later. Because some people hear, oh, it's been 2.5 years, they're never going to find him. But boy, we have Elizabeth Smart and J.C. Dugard to try to contradict that. But I know you've got some other cases that are really fascinating when you use this age progression technology.
Well, Christy, we have more than 1,000 of them, including one from just 2 weeks ago, in which a young man who, like Gabriel, disappeared as an infant and 34 years later sees our age progression on the website, calls us, DNA confirms that he's a missing child, that he was not who he thought he was. This was a businessman married with a family who had been adopted out of an orphanage and is now 34 years old, found himself on our website from an age progression. We have the story of Carlina White, the 19-day-old infant stolen from a New York hospital in 1987, who found herself 23 years later as a result of an age-progressed photo. So we hope it doesn't take 23 or 34 years for us to find Gabriel Johnson, but the search goes on.
The search goes on, but people aren't just finding themselves. There are people through these age progression photos that are being found because other people paid attention, yes?
Absolutely. And the most important thing is it doesn't do you much good to circulate the photograph of a newborn or an infant if he's now 3 years old or 10 years old. So we try to simulate that cranial facial growth, lift those unique inherited traits that the child has from mother or father, and create an image of what they look like today. We want people to really look at these pictures and to think, I mean, if this child was adopted in the United States, you don't adopt a child overnight. It is a long process, a judicial process. So who showed up 3 years old or 3 years ago with a baby that you didn't know was adopting? And then look at this age progression. It could be a family member, could be a neighbor, could be a friend. Think that it might be possible and don't feel constrained. Call us at 1-800-THE-LOST. Give us that information so we can work with the San Antonio police and follow up on this frustrating case.